I struggled with the Lord for 3 years to move from Zaria to Abuja. God was doing great and mighty things already. You can imagine a place that is the center, the Zazzau Emirates there, and yet people will travel from all over the world in the midst of the kidnappings and come there. It was a measure of great results. And God began to speak to me and say, son, we have to move to the next phase. God, I don't want trouble. Abuja, no, I'm not ready for this. I mean, ministers will understand what I'm saying. I'm not ready for any, just let me serve you sincerely. After all, you are almost coming. So, I mean, finally, when I moved to Abuja, many of you here shuttle between Lagos and Abuja. It is life is expensive. You need faith, wisdom, relationships, everything combined together. When I began to see the visions of our meeting today and some of the things God was doing, of course I'll be foolish to doubt him at that level. He had done great and mighty things before then. But I said, Lord, would you grant grace? And I began to pray. And when I began to pray, I said, Lord, I believe you. Test number 1, courage. Finally, I said, let's go. If you instruct me to go, then you are well able to glorify yourself. Test number 2, I had to decide to camp around the success of that phase of ministry, as remarkable as it was, or move to a virgin territory and now trust God for lifting. And I said, Lord, I believe in you. I thank God for what you have done through my life, but I know there is more to be done, and I thank you. And it was at the period of the pandemic. I hope you know what that means. Churches, ministries were closed for a while. I remember the first time we saw the venue that was supposedly, we are contemplating that venue, and then ICC, and the rates were something else, but ICC, they would not give it for that frequency of programs. And then this one that God brought us by his grace, it was about the biggest auditorium that can be given for, that is not built as a church auditorium. Not even discussing the price per use, you won't believe it. And then I sent a delegation to meet the man, and the man said, no way. Pentecostals scatter chairs, they scatter this. I invested so much, I'm not ready to lose my money for nothing. And I said, God, but you spoke to me. I'm not saying, I hope you are not offended. And I said, Lord, I believe you. I was in Enugu for a conference when that man went to bed, and according to him, he's a very great and wealthy man in this nation. He said he had the audible voice of God, like someone is talking, and he told him, get up. You do not know the young man who I sent to you, and you don't know the agenda. He did not buy that land. It was given to him as, you know how they allocate, they just bless people with it. And that God, a prophecy had come that God is going to raise a mighty man, and that the reason why he's building that facility primarily is for that move of God. So God told him that that vision I gave you, the time has come. And that was how, when I returned, the man was sick. True story. And I decided to go and greet him, just to go and greet him, not to even discuss anything. And when the man saw me, I greeted him. He called all his managers, and we sat down right there. Let me tell you this, I don't say it to brag or to boast. Believe me, I stand by the God of heaven. And I don't know if I should say this or not, but believe me when I tell you, what it takes to run one koinonia service is probably what most people will use for conferences. One service. So don't you think I'm just standing here and talking nonsense. No. Those of you who have been there, you know the main auditorium, everything plus the basement, and then outside again. Now the whole space, everywhere, there's no space again. At this level, I have met kings, I have met nobles, I have met the high and mighty to the glory and the name of the Lord. I've met people I never imagined that I would meet in my life at this level. Heads of government, heads of parliament, and you will think at that level, let me tell you the deception. Joshua Selman, this is where I was going to. Obvious results. When you don't have results, it's foolish to be proud, because people will insult you on top of the one that you don't have anything again. But when you have a level of results, you see that. And I prayed and I told God something. I said, Lord, for this that you have done for me, I give you glory. I understand the pressure of being me. I understand all kinds of things. But Lord, grant me grace that this will never get into me, that I will never stand on the stage and try to imagine that it was by my strength. No.